Now the blur tool again does exactly what you think it would do. It blurs things, and when we click on the icon over here on the toolbar, we see three choices down below. We have the plain everyday blur tool, the sharpen tool, and the smudge tool. Each one does exactly what the title suggests that it would do. Now I got to admit, I very rarely use these tools. I just like the degree of control that I have over other processes to establish blur, sharpness, and smudges. And pretty much if I want to do a good smudge, I'll use the liquefy tool more so than the smudge tool, but they are here if you want to. Every now and then when I have a very specific area that I very quickly want to give a little bit of a blur to, I'll just click this and give it a wipe, but otherwise there's more control over the results on other tools. But here you go with what we can do. Let's go ahead and zoom in on Sarah just a bit here, and we'll concentrate on the eyes, and let's reposition this, and we'll go out just a little, come up, and we'll concentrate on the eyes. So let's go ahead and give this a swipe. And we'll do it more than once, and we can see it's getting more and more gradually blurred. Let's go ahead and run this strength all the way to the top, and we can see the more we click on it and move it around, you can see it. See it how it's getting more and more blurred. Okay, so we'll come to the history and we'll go before and after. This is kind of a high-res image. Stick the next one down in the sharpen tool, and I never use this. I mean, this just does not give the result that you really want in sharpening. You have a whole lot more control over the sharpening process when you come from here down to use the unsharp mask. But again, very quickly, if you just want to come to an eye and click on it once just to give a little spot of sharpening, yes, it will work, but don't overdo it. Here's what happens when you overdo this tool. I'm just going to go ahead and keep clicking on it here, and you can see it is getting sharper, but it's also, but look at this eye and then look at this eye. Let's go ahead and sharpen this one, and those eyes just don't look good at all. It's way over sharpened. I have no control other than the strength over the sharpening algorithm. It just does what it does, and that's really all you can do with it. So I really don't ever use the sharpen tool. I'm going to go back now on my history states to the beginning, and I'm going to have to collapse these layers, and then we're going to come to the last in the row, which is the smudge tool. And again, I'm going to increase the tip size by hitting the right bracket key, and I'm going to take this up to 100% to show you the effect, just like that. Now very rarely do I ever want to smudge anything. Here's with a lesser strength applied to it. We'll go ahead and return this to there. Let's see what it looks like with less strength. I just, there are other ways to accomplish this, and I have more control over those other processes, but it's here if you want to use it very, very sparingly. Don't make this your first choice whenever you need to blur something, sharpen, or smudge. Now, if you want to blur something, let me tell you what you need to do that gives you more control. Filter, blur, and look at all the choices you have to achieve blur. So if you want to blur, do it this way, not with the blur tool. Again, sharpen. If you want to sharpen, go to filter, sharpen, and then do the unsharp mask. You have a whole lot more control over the result. And of course the smudge tool, best thing to do is really kind of use the liquefy filter right here and do it that way. You, again, one more time, you have more control over the result. But very, very quick applications used sparingly, these tools do a great job.